Yeah, let's light this candle. I'm talking about Patreon. You haven't heard it? It's Patreon. Ticket Price Podcast. We're on Patreon. I'm doing a new Patreon intro. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We're Ticket Price. Ticket Price Podcast. Patreon. You can tune into our episodes. We get comment sections. Ticket Price Top 10 Tuesdays. Check them out. Bonus content. Moments in horror. We got it all. Patreon. Ticket Price Podcast. Jake Tevis. Ticket Price. Patreon. Loud noises. Let's burn this candle. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price. There's giggling already. I don't know why. We just started. Can you keep it together? You're killing me.
I'm trying to be professional.
Wait, since when?
I'm turning over a new leaf.
Oh, okay.
You know, getting ready for the New Year's on its way. I'm trying to be a better person. It's not going to work.
Hey, maybe. Welcome to Ticket Price, everyone. The podcast about movies.
Yeah.
And if they're any good or not, and if they're worth their ticket price. I am your co-host, Jake. With me, sitting across the way, Giggles McGee, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who thinks Christmas should be year-round.
Shit, it almost is.
I was just thought, you're just a proponent of generosity and faith and
Goodwill
towards men.
My fellow man.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I'm so happy I'm not in retail anymore.
Oh,
God, I freaking hate Christmas and I hate saying frickin', so I don't know why I did that.
yeah, we say fuck on this
I know.
I'm just going to rip that Band-Aid off of this one real quick.
I fucking hate working in retail, especially during the holiday. God, I hate Christmas.
Tell me, what day is it?
What day?
Goddamn Christmas!
Yeah. You're not allowed to kill yourself, though. You signed a contract.
That's true.
Co-host extraordinaire and at Master Control, Tevis. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
You did sign a contract.
I
though.
know. Contract for my soul.
Man, what a way to start off our week of Christmas episode. Suicide talk.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Man, we have just ruined the holiday season for everyone. If you've listened to our holiday episodes, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins, Die Hard, and now this, we have just been, let's not forget Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for Thanksgiving.
God, that was a train wreck.
Oh, we are just the embodiment of joy and cheer and
Death. Suicide. Overdose. I feel like that guy in Lethal Weapon who left the Christmas party and climbed up on top of the roof.
Yeah, the jumper.
Yeah.
I feel more like Mel Gibson most of the time. Like, I'm just trying to keep it together until you push me. I'm like, you want to jump? Do you want to? Do you really want to jump? Do you? Well, I want to. Let's do it. I'm good until you just push me. So, what are we doing today? It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
We are doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I am almost certain this is the greatest Christmas movie ever.
Yeah, but we just did Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, but this is like legit Christmas. There's no argument with this movie.
No, okay.
This is a Christmas movie.
The inside joke we've been doing for the holidays is the first 3 Christmas movies are more like air quote Christmas movies. Like, there's strong debate on if they count or not. This is legitimately a Christmas movie.
Yes. Yeah. It's in the title.
Well, you got me there.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I wrote it down, so I knew. I was very aware.
Greatest, though? I'm pretty sure the greatest is Year Without a Santa Claus, the old claymation classics.
Oh, God, no.
I'm sad we didn't cover those.
I am sad that you brought that up.
Hey, if we're still around for next Christmas, 100% we're doing the claymation ones.
We could do one. Rudolph.
Can we do a Year Without a Santa Claus?
We can do a year without those movies, yeah.
We already did.
Just keep that trend going.
All right. Well, today we're doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the 1989 classic. So, 2 things real quick going into this before we break down the rest of the credits we do. Didn't realize. I thought this movie was older than 89. I knew 80s, but I didn't realize 89.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was the third vacation movie.
Yeah. So we have kind of broken our own rule of
Yeah,
doing sequels.
but let's face it.
There's no
The
reason.
vacation movies, there is a sequential order, I guess.
There's no
But
continuity.
no. Well, shoot, this one, the kids got recast because they were doing a Christmas while the kids were still young, not full-ass adults like in, Vegas and European Vacation.
Well, there's 4 total vacation movies.
Right.
So
Vacation.
I think they all got recast in every single one.
Oh, did they?
I don't think the same one from European is the same one even in the original.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get to
Yeah.
them. I don't know. We're doing Christmas Vacation because it's Christmas time, goddammit, and we're gonna be the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. We're gonna get. Oh, I commiserate with just the pure borderline psychosis of Clark.
He goes nuts multiple times in this movie.
I feel that.
I 100% do.
I realize that I am Clark Griswold at any moment in time. I am just the slightest inconvenience from snapping and taking a chainsaw to my stairwell.
The fact that he works at a major corporate headquarters irritates me, that he's not in retail. He needs to be a retail worker to snap that much.
Yeah, but if Clark Griswold was in retail, he would get a gun and kill everyone, and it would be a much darker story.
It would be Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Yes.
Getting back on track.
Yes.
Or attempting to.
Try.
Written by John Hughes. I have watched this movie countless times. I've never noticed that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never, sat and critically, because let's face it, jumping ahead just a little bit to the actual movie, I do not pay much attention to this opening cartoon.
You don't like it?
I'm wildly indifferent.
I love this. I think the cartoon is super awesome.
Oh, and Year Without a Santa Claus and the other claymations are just crap.
Those are trash. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the National Lampoon Santa cartoon in the opening credits, solid gold.
I always loved when the movies did that, because they done that a lot back then. With the opening of all the movie was the little bitty cartoon. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids had it. City Slickers had it. Better Off Dead.
Mm.
There was a shitty 2001. I can't think of the guy's name, but he was the fat kid from Stand By Me. He grew up and played this role in Tomcats was the movie. And they did a little short cartoon there. The cartoon was better than the entire movie. But I love the little cartoons that they would do.
You were just a big idiot.
I am a big
You're just a
big
big dumb
idiot.
child over there. Big dumb child,
Yep.
co-host extraordinaire Tevis.
Give me my Legos and leave me alone.
Yeah, we'll have to give you the makeup block so you don't accidentally put them in your mouth and choke to death.
I could fit one in my mouth.
What did you just say?
So,
Oh, never mind.
you know what?
Let's
Whatever
skip.
you want to do on your
let's go. Let's skip
your
over that part.
personal time is your business, man. I don't.
What I do on my break is my break.
I give you 15 minutes. I don't care what happens in that 15 minutes. Directed
I can
by-
eat a whole corn dog in one bite.
It's
Stick
true.
and all.
I've seen it happen. It's horrifying. It's like a python swallowing a deer. It's god awful.
Man,
Who is this written by? John Hughes.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
John Hughes, who was on a roll.
Yeah,
So-
if on a roll, you mean the last movie of his we covered was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That turd. Directed by Jeremiah S. Chekik, starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. Ratings: IMDb 7.5, Rotten Tomatoes 70%. I feel like these are pretty on par. You know,
I'd say that's about where
it's fair.
supposed to be.
Budget of $28 million with a worldwide gross of 74.5. So
Seems a little low.
Yeah, I mean it doubled more than doubled its money. So there's that.
It doesn't seem like it should have cost that much to make, though.
Well, there are a lot of lights.
There are a lot of lights. 25,000.
Twinkly. Well, lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Thanks, Dad. I
Yes,
noticed.
thanks for noticing.
Oh my God.
So,
I will say this movie is crazy quotable.
do you know who was originally supposed to direct this movie?
No.
Chris Columbus.
We just covered him, did we not?
Yes.
On Gremlins of Gremlins infamy.
Was it Gremlins or that was Joe Dante who directed
Oh,
Gremlins?
Chris Columbus wrote
Yes.
Gremlins.
But
Bastard.
Chris Columbus met with John Hughes and Chevy Chase. And then after the meeting, he went to John Hughes and was like, I'm not going to be able to work with Chevy Chase.
Shocking.
There's no way. So John Hughes was like, okay, fine. Here, I have this other Christmas movie. Would you like to direct it? It was Home Alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, which I'm okay with Home Alone. It's fine. But I think
Home
this is
Alone's a
better.
classic.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll see. I think top to bottom, Home Alone might be a better movie.
We're not doing Home Alone. We're doing Christmas Vacation.
I know, because you're making.
Why'd you bring up Home Alone?
You brought up Home Alone. You brought up Chris Columbus. That brought up Gremlins. I'm not talking about Gremlins again. You can't make me. They already drug me kicking and screaming out of the studio once. I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
Kiss my entire ass.
The sun's getting real low again.
I do need Scarlett Johansson to come in and rub my shoulders or whatever it is she did to the Hulk.
Rub something.
So, awards.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation is now the second movie in ticket price history to have zilch in this category.
Really?
Zilch. No award, no wins, no nominations, nothing.
That's surprising.
I looked for a while because I was like, wait, did I overlook the section? Like, in my read, I'm like, well, there's got to be something. Nope, not a damn thing.
Okay.
Reviews. You want the good one or the bad one?
So give me the bad one, Roger Ebert.
It is Ebert.
Yeah.
How did you know?
I just knew.
You just felt it.
I have a memory because I used to watch at the movies with Siskel and Ebert, and they would do the thumbs up and thumbs down thing. And I remember one of them disliking the movie because they stayed home. It wasn't an actual vacation. And that might be complete bullshit. That might just be something I would have in my head that I
that might have been Gene, because
it's
Raj, he disliked it for other reasons.
Okay. Well, I know that was brought up one time because in their conversation, because I remember thinking, you never had a staycation? Like you just never had a stay at home?
Yeah. Plus, they were the vacation destination for all of their relatives.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a really odd nitpick criticism that also doesn't hold water.
Yeah. And again, it might just be something I mistakenly remember.
That could be.
But I 100% in my head, I'm confident.
Well, Raj, our old buddy Raj, gave it 2 stars. He had a lot to say about this movie, but this ultimately was the quote that I pulled for it. Roger Ebert said, "It is an odd sensation of watching a movie straining to get off the ground, but doesn't have the juice."
What? That is weird.
So he makes a lot of comments in his review about how this movie starts to go places and then never pays off. And it never actually achieves that next level or kicks it into the next gear. And it just kind of flounders at the bottom the whole time.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Well, you already explained how you did when you watch at the movies. What else did he say? Oh, man, there was something else I was going to bring up. Oh, he described this movie as the perfect watching at home on TV movie. because not only are there natural cuts in it for commercial, but none of the sections in between those cuts really connect to one another or go into one another. So it's basically individual segments where you get a little bit of story, something chaotic happens, commercial break, then we're on to the next segment that has little to nothing to do with what has happened prior.
I would agree with that. I remember thinking that when I was watching it for
Mhm.
this. It's basically just a lot of chopped up skits almost.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Now, you know what's interesting? Or maybe interesting's too strong a word, if we're being honest. But why that probably is. This was Mr. Jeremiah Bullfrog's first ever film directing. He had never directed a movie before, but had several award wins as a director for television. He was a TV guy,
It all makes
and he
sense now.
followed his natural inclinations and cut it like you would TV, which doesn't really work because this isn't television, it's a movie and it's a different medium. And
Yeah, but it didn't really bother me too much. I still enjoyed it. But I could see where you're talking about, where he would definitely, the commercial break would be here and here and here and here
Yeah.
and here.
so
That makes way more sense now.
also, this was Eames, when you're as close as we are, Eames.
Yeah, of course.
This was the only review I could find from 89.
Really?
New York Times had one. Well, okay, let me back up because that's incorrect. New York Times has a review that is hidden behind a paywall that I almost subscribed to until I saw that it was a review from like 2000. And I went, it's not even a review from 89. Ebert was the only review from 89 I could find.
That's weird to me.
Yeah, it's super weird. Was he the only asshole reviewing movies?
Yeah, where's the rest of all of it?
Any of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Okay.
So I went with more of a modern. It's IMDb.
Okay.
But they described this movie as gleefully funny, lively. Screenplay is notorious, wacky, and extremely funny.
I would agree with that.
So they had a much more positive take on it than
the 2 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. History with this movie. I grew up with this movie, right? This movie is as old as I am. My parents love it. And it was on every holiday season. And the thing is, we always watched it on TV because it was always on one of the channels, right? And so I never noticed the cuts in it because I was watching it with commercials anyway. So it all just kind of blended together seamlessly, which kind of goes into everything I guess Ebert was complaining about. But no, I've always enjoyed this movie, but it does have that distinct 80s comedy flavor.
Oh, yeah. Heavy.
And while some of the jokes still make me laugh, many of the jokes, even when I was little, never registered because it was like this real distinct 80s humor that just, I didn't care for it then, and I don't really care for it now. That's probably why I don't like Raiders, even though that movie's deliriously funny.
Delirious.
And I just don't get it. But no, it's even still, I own this movie. My wife and I, we watch it every year. We break it out once. It's one of those movies you have to, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But is it worth it? So you stay tuned to find out. Is it worth it?
I loved National Lampoon's Vacation, the very first one.
Sorry, folks. Wally World is closed for repair. He just punches the moose.
The moose outside should have told you. That's my John Candy impression.
Oh, bingo! Terrible impression.
So I love that movie, and then European Vacation came out, and I watched it, and it was awful. I hated it. So I heard they were doing this one, Christmas Vacation. I was like, I don't want to watch it. I didn't like the last one. I don't want to watch this. But somehow I ended up watching it. I don't know. I don't remember the details of it, but I laughed so freaking hard. Um, and it's just been a staple in my collection ever since.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of like you. I would break it out almost every year and watch it.
Yeah.
And like you as well, some of the jokes worked really well, and some of them just kind of like, meh, it's
Eh.
okay.
I get what they're going for, but no. And, it's looking ahead a little bit, but the 80s was such a weird time because only in the 80s would Randy Quaid be viewed more highly in movie circles than Dennis Quaid.
Aren't they cousins
They're
or
brothers.
are they brothers?
They're brothers.
My God, that is they. I knew they were related somehow, but
Looks and talent must have skipped Randy.
Jesus, that reminds me of the movie Twins. What do you mean? I'm the shit. I'm the crap. Like,
Wait.
yes, Danny DeVito, you are the crap.
Wait, are you saying that Dennis and Randy look so dissimilar? It's akin to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito from the movie Twins.
Yes. Yes. She must have hit their mother when she was pregnant with Randy. Must have smoked and drank a lot.
Yeah, but to be fair, maybe she didn't do any of that and was a fantastic mother. But they got a new, much more attractive mailman after Randy was born. I don't know.
I like that better.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like that better because I was going pretty dark. I was
shocking.
I was going with like maybe a clothes hanger.
Oh my God! What is? It's Christmas. What is the matter with you?
Hey, the highest suicide rate, so we got to go with death.
I'm glad we can alleviate people's thoughts and fears over such a touchy subject matter in such a chaotic time as the holidays.
Let's be more joyful, damn it.
We're entertainers. I am Sammy Davis Jr. over here. I'm just trying to entertain people. I'm the candy man, damn it.
I'm Dean Martin. I'm just drinking and
Drinking and smoking and
pissing my pants. I'm pretty sure Dean Martin pissed his pants a few times. You can't drink that much and be that drunk on stage and not have whizzed down your leg a few times.
well, wait a minute. I don't know, Mr. Mark. He and I were never hung out, right? Mr. Junior and I hung out all the time. It was me, him, Carol O'Connor, and we were just hanging out all the time. But I am not going to go as far as to say Dean Martin was just pissing his pants on stage.
Didn't even care. Letting it go.
Tell me how you really feel about Dino.
I love Dean Martin. Mr. Pissy Pants.
What are we talking about?
Christmas Vacation.
All right. So we touched on it a little bit. The opening cartoon. Santa's delivering presents to the Griswold house. The Christmas Vacation. It's all going. And, animated Santa just has the worst time trying to deliver presents to the Griswold home.
He has a Griswold time. It's basically that he's basically Clark.
Yeah, but he doesn't freak out.
No, he doesn't freak out and beat the shit out of his deer like Clark did.
Well, we're not there. I do. See, that's one of those moments where, especially now as an older man who is, I don't know if our listeners or you, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, I'm a tad high strung and I'm prone to violent emotional outbursts. I don't know if anyone's keyed in on that little tidbit of my personality.
If you're not aware, go back and listen to Gremlins.
Gremlins might be the worst one. That movie's so weird. But no, I relate to Clark more and more every year.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, Clark, I get you. You're right. I do got to touch on the music a minute. when the logo pops up, the Warner Brothers logo, and then that jingle music starts to hit, like, oh yeah, we're in for a good time. I like the music that they had, but I still miss the Holiday Road theme song
From the
from
original?
the original.
Man, I vaguely remember that.
Oh, Lindsey Buckingham, man, killed it. He killed it. I loved
Wait,
it.
she or he?
He. I said she, but it was a he.
What are Lindsey Buckingham's pronouns? Do you know?
No, it's
Oh,
a him, her, she, they. I don't judge on pronouns.
You just don't know.
I just don't know.
So you don't know anyone's pronouns, so you just use them indiscriminately
I
for
just say-
everyone.
Yeah. Lindsay, I love her music. Lindsay, he was great when he sang Holiday Road.
They were a treasure to that movie. Got it.
They added so much joy to that movie.
We just offended a bunch of people.
Probably.
Suck it.
It's okay.
Santa gets electrocuted. The chimney's on fire. He just has a hell of a time. Can we get into the actual movie now?
It's a
Cartoon
it's a
sucks.
fun old-fashioned family Christmas.
So the it actually finally opens up after we get through this shitty cartoon part. The Griswold family going out to the wilderness to get that special Griswold family Christmas tree. They're not going to a tree lot. They're not buying an artificial tree. They're doing it the old-fashioned way.
Cut it down with their bare hands.
That's right. So my first note is this opening cartoon. My second note is, hey kids, look, a deer. So Clark is driving, and they are just singing all the carols and hymns. They are singing. Actually, when we open up to the family, they are at the tail end of a deep hymn.
And he is in deep.
Yes, he is. But they are being there's an old beat up pickup truck really just riding their tail.
A bunch of rednecks.
Probably goddamn Ronnie from Halloween back there.
That was him driving from the bar.
He was about to wrap his truck.
Yeah, that's the truck he wrapped it on the pole.
Does Halloween
yes
share a universe with the Vacation series?
Exactly, it does.
So
it was Ronnie and his brother in the truck.
So the truck's really just driving up on him, being obnoxious, goes to pass. And Griswold's complaining the whole time. And then that's when he hits the line with, hey kids, look, a deer. And he points to the other side of the car and everyone's distracted. And while the kids are distracted, not looking, he just flips off the truck with the biggest smile on his face. That pisses the truck driver off, and he and his passengers get in front and then brake check.
Yeah.
So Clark slams on his brakes. Hilarity ensues, I guess. Truck speeds off. So now Clark takes off.
Oh, Clark's pissed.
Clark is pissed. And you don't want to piss Clark Griswold off, folks.
No.
He's highly unstable. You know, his wife is like, you know,
she's like, will you settle down, Clark? I don't want to spend the holidays dead.
Honey, do you want to spend this trip driving behind someone that does something like that? I'm going to just speed by him.
Get around this 8-timer.
What's he say? Gonna burn dust. Eat my rubber.
Eat my rubber.
And then Russ from the backseat. Dad, it's burn rubber. Eat my whatever, Russ. Whatever. Gets in front of him again, right?
Well, he attempts to go around him, but then he goes under that semi truck.
Yeah, but why does he end up under the? Was it he goes to pass, can't, and goes to get back to where he was?
No, he goes to pass and he's not paying attention.
Okay.
And that's when the semi truck is right beside him and he ends up going under the semi.
Yeah, but he and the semi are going the same direction. He gets back in his lane at some point, but gets underneath the semi as he does it.
Yeah, they're in the actual non-passing lane.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he gets back into his lane, you know, you've got your semi truck. So you got the actual truck. Then you got the trailer. You got the one set of wheels and you got the other set of wheels, and their car just fits oh so perfectly in that gap between the wheels.
It fits really nice.
To which, you know what? If I'm being honest, they all handle that a lot better than I would.
Oh, the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rusty, I think, was having a panic attack. But
Yeah.
um,
Rightly so.
the daughter, I don't even think she was batting an eye.
Well, and this is one of those jokes that just does not work for me. She was probably in the beginning of freezing like an icicle, like legitimately freezing, not to death, just cartoon style freezing
When
into a
she,
solid like icicle sculpture person, like
yeah,
a
when
snowman.
they get to the tree,
She'll look at it later, hon. Her eyeballs are frozen. Nothing. Crickets. What a shitty joke. I hate that is the worst. And then did they dub it? Not dub in, but after the fact, they added in like teeth chattering sound of it. It's just so dumb.
there's a lot of that over the top, even overly cartoony
Yeah.
gags in this movie.
And
Some of them work for me, some of them not so much. The
yeah,
eye one, not so much.
that's a lot of this movie. This movie takes a lot of swings with its jokes. Some are home runs, and some strike out horde. Horde.
Horde. What was-
Horde. It's not just hard, it's horde. But Clark, oh no, well, his wife says a prayer. He shouts amen, cuts the wheel, goes off the road, gets out from under the semi, but then ramps their piece of shit car into the forest. Where he's like, hey, we're here, let's go find the tree. They walk around, they're looking for their tree, and there it is. The light shining down on it.
Oh,
It's
got
this
the god lights.
Yeah, the
Oh,
god
yeah.
lights are shining down. It's twinkling. It's it. It's love at first sight. Clark has found his tree. And he's like, this is it. And that's when Russ chimes in. Dad, that tree wouldn't even fit in our yard.
It's not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Dad, did you bring a saw? Bum bum ba ba. Wah. Clark forgot his saw.
This is one of those cartoony moments that actually worked for me.
Because then it smash cuts to the tree strapped to the car roof with the root ball, dirt and all, because he dug it out with a shovel. Now, as someone who has dug trees out, I don't want to talk about it. That would have taken days, and the weight of that tree and that root ball. Oh, turn my phone off so it doesn't play during the episode.
Apparently, I didn't get it all the way shut off.
Tell your ex we're busy. You've got corn dogs to eat.
Oh, she just texted me. Would you like another pack of corn dogs?
But no, the weight of that tree and the root ball with dirt would have legitimately crushed that car.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be driving down the road like it is.
Well, but you know what? We're also skipping the fact that somehow Clark, presumably by himself, with nothing but piss vinegar and the sheer rage and sanity coursing through his veins, hulk this tree up onto the top of his car.
As angry as he gets, I can imagine him just being pissed off. He had to dig this thing up because he's like, I'm not walking all the way back to the car, driving all the way back home, or somewhere for a hardware store to buy a saw. I'm getting this son of a bitch now.
And you know what? Actually, what's the word I'm looking for, Tevis?
Holidays?
Holiday! No, that observation is quite astute and accurate to the character that is Clark Griswold. Once his mind is set,
100%.
he will not deviate for any rhyme or reason.
Doesn't matter.
He's doing it his way, hell or high water, trees, whatever. But they get the tree home. And it's all tied up, but he's got it set up in their tree stand. And this thing eats their living room while tied up. He hasn't even cut the rope yet. And he's like, everybody ready? And say hello to the Griswold family Christmas tree. And he cuts the rope and the branches shoot out, smashing windows, knocking shit off the walls. And from inside the depths of this tree is just Chevy Chase going, looks great. Lot of sap. Lot of sap. Looks great though. Lot of sap.
I want to touch base on his neighbors.
Wait, his neighbors? Surprise, Julia Louise-Dreyfus!
Oh, that's who that was. That's right.
Yeah,
I
surprise
forgot.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I totally forgot that was her.
Margot. She plays Margot.
What did they do? I would love to know the backstory as to why they hate each other so much. The neighbors hate Clark and Clark hates them.
I don't know. I feel like we get enough of their personality and the way they live their lives and the type of people they are generally, and how Clark is. I think there's enough difference there that yeah.
But we're automatically supposed to hate the neighbors.
Well, their names are Todd and Margot, and they wear matching jumpsuits and shit. Yeah, it's like you look at them and you're just like, oh, gee. Well, okay, he's moving the tree, and that's when Todd's like, hey, Griswold, where do you plan on putting a tree that size?
Bend over and I'll show you.
And then Todd and Margot look at each other, and he's like, you got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold.
I wasn't talking to you.
Surprise, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Tree.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like they got a lot of unnecessary hate because they get put through the ringer.
Yeah, but that's why they hate Clark.
Yeah, but
so then their hate breeds hate.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but
Clark is the worst neighbor ever.
I just feel like we as an audience are already supposed to hate them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know, just an observation.
Just this weird late 80s, early 90s rich yuppie couple.
Yeah.
Who I wouldn't get along with in real life. But if we're looking at who hates who and why, they're probably in the right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just trying to live their lives and be, rich and
yuppies.
And they get completely shit on by Clark and his stupid antics.
The legitimate victims of a number of accidents caused by Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then,
do you know who owned their house? The Todd and Margot.
No.
That was Roger Murtaugh's home in Lethal Weapon.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was on the same backlot. That was the actual Murtaugh home.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll tell you right now, Roger Murtaugh wouldn't have put up with that. He's way too old for that shit.
I wonder if he was upstairs in the tub taking a bath.
Well, we haven't done Lethal Weapon 2, but maybe he was on the toilet.
That's true.
Yeah, he was on there for like 16 hours.
Clark probably somehow caused the toilet to explode.
Wait, are you saying Clark planted the bomb in Lethal Weapon 2?
By accident, of course.
Oh, yeah, he accidentally connected some kind of C4-based device to a toilet. So wait a minute. We have just now connected Halloween, the Vacation series, and now Lethal Weapon. All happens in the same universe.
Happens in the same universe.
Same universe. Someone make that real, please.
I would watch a Lethal Weapon versus Michael Myers movie.
I would. Okay,
as long as it had Mel Gibson in it, I know you would be all on board.
Well, that's true. That's 100% true. And if you don't know why, oh baby.
6 minutes and 32 seconds.
In 6 minutes and 33 seconds of the director's cut of Lethal Weapon is all you need to know. There's your timestamp. There's your movie. There's your edition. But also Riggs, who only shoots clips at a time, would lay waste to Michael Myers instantaneously as he puts 15 clips of ammo. So what, 15 times 15? It would be, what, 170? No, math. Wait a minute. I can do this. Shut up, Tevis. I can do this. I can't do this.
Okay.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a way better shot than Loomis.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to just pull that trigger.
No, and I'm sure he can look left and see that the Myers car is parked right there.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Let me just look to my left. Huh? We've gone wildly off track.
Yeah.
You're going to edit all this out because we are wildly off track.
We need to look right and get back on track with
yeah, right. Quit looking left at Halloween. We need to look at Christmas Vacation. So then, the next snippet really jumps to Clark at work. You'd mentioned that he's got a corporate job. He's the head of some kind of research and development for like a cereal company, kind of a
Yeah, he's
thing.
got this flavor enhanced cereal varnish.
Okay, it's not a flavor enhanced cereal varnish. It is a what's it?
Non-nutritive cereal
Non-nutritive
varnish.
cereal varnish that will prevent your cereal from getting soggy in milk, so it's always crunchy.
Yeah. I actually looked up his job on the computer today.
On the computation. Why did you say that? I actually punched in his job on the computer today.
On the computer.
Wait, the more we say, the more the computer.
The computer. I sound like the guy from, or Hal from 2001. But I looked it up, and he has a LinkedIn profile.
Clark Griswold has a
Griswold.
LinkedIn profile?
Yeah.
How am I just now learning this?
I know, me too. So now I'm friends with Clark Griswold on LinkedIn.
So what's Grizz's job?
I don't remember the exact name of it.
What you brought all this up like you were gonna drop the bomb on his ill-defined job at this ill-defined company.
I did not write that down either. Oh no, I did. Food additive designer.
Ah.
That's what it was.
Wait, how do I get that job? I eat cereal all the time.
Yeah, but you got to deal with that asshole of a boss that calls you Mark.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, I guess if your bonus gets you a pool, that'd be cool.
Yeah, right. Also, you could just not be a kiss ass and not worry about it.
True.
So Clark kind of talks about how, we're introduced to the idea of the Christmas bonus. Does he mention they're putting a pool in at that time, or is that later?
No, that's at that time.
So we know he's really counting on his Christmas bonus to cover a pool he's having put in.
Yeah, he says he put a $7,500 deposit down on it.
But there's not enough money in his account to cover the deposit unless he gets that bonus check. But when you look at Clark's home and all the shit they do, there is no way that's accurate. There's 0% chance that is accurate.
What, that he doesn't have enough money?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. If he was rolling around in Eddie's trailer, right, then I'd be like, oh well, yeah, obviously, right. But no, he has this huge, beautiful home, and he has this corporate gig, right? And he's got 2 children. His wife stays at home. He's got this trophy wife. I don't really know what Beverly D'Angelo does other than just sit around showing cleavage and touching Clark's junk all the time, right?
And she does a good job at her job.
Taking care of the kids
Yeah.
and showing cleavage and touching Clark's junk all the time. So obviously he would have that money, but I digress. Not as much as we digressed earlier when we started talking about Lethal Weapon and Halloween, but we're digressing again. So I don't buy that part, but we're introduced to the idea. Then comes the boss and his stream of yes men. Like, what is it? Merry Christmas, sir. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your own ass. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Like, he's kissing up to the boss, has polite conversation or, polite greeting with 1 or 2 of them, and then it just drops downhill till the end. Happy Hanukkah.
The part, I believe it's either before this or after, is when Clark goes shopping and he's in the lingerie section.
Yes.
Yeah. That part is probably the weakest part of the whole movie for me.
Right? What?
It's
a theme. It's a running gag in all the vacations. Clark has a wandering eye.
yes.
Why? He has
Man,
a beautiful wife at home who has no issues.
I guess he's tired of eating the same cereal all the time.
I'm so glad you said cereal. I was like, God damn, we're about to have another bleep. Good Lord.
But I mean, I get keeping the same theme with all the rest of them. It's just, and the whole thing about him stammering over his words, trying to talk to her.
Yeah.
And then,
Did I say nipple?
Oh my God. There is a nip in the air though. That just, I don't know. It never worked for me when I watched it the first couple of times, except for the woman is very attractive.
Is she?
Well, by the 80s standards, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
Man, the 80s were a truly terrible time.
But then Rusty shows up and it's
Look,
like,
Russ, you can't see the line.
you can't see the line, can you, Russ? Nope. It just that whole part could have been cut out, and I'd have been
No.
perfectly fine with it.
Christmas is the time to be merry. Oh, well, that's my name. No shit.
Yeah, I never really got a chuckle at all through any of that.
No, I never really have either. It doesn't fall as flat as like
The Frozen Eyes.
the Frozen Eyes and all that. But that joke doesn't.
Yeah, all that should have been just left on the floor.
Yeah, but then this movie that's already pretty short would have been even shorter.
That is true. It is. It does go quick.
What, it's 97 minutes, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, I believe. Well, okay, he goes shopping. We're introduced to the job, the boss, and the overarching issue of the pool and needing the Christmas bonus. But now it's been talked about. It's been feared. But finally, the doorbell rings. And as they approach to open the door, you can hear the bickering on the other side.
I love how the doorbell slowly gets more menacing as the closer they get to the door. Like bing,
Yeah, it's just like it turns into just and then by the end it's the Undertaker's opening theme. It's just the bell tolls for thee, right? And it just boom.
Yeah, and they open the door and it's mass chaos.
I do love how this shot is filmed, like how they shoot this moment, because it's hectic and it's chaotic and there's grandparents everywhere and people are talking and arguing and hugging and kissing and saying hello and there's still more arguing. It's just, and it feels as chaotic as it does in that moment. Like, and I think this is why Vacation 1 is a classic, the second's a turd, but this one is revered not only a classic movie, but a quintessential holiday time watch, is because it has all the charm and it hits all the right notes that the original did, and that you can resonate with our characters because we have all been through the terrible family vacation and now we're reconnecting with our characters because we have all had this Christmas experience.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Of, oh God, here come the in-laws.
Yeah, I remember as a kid visiting my one of my parents' side of the family. I won't mention which one, but it was
Do it.
It was very
Burn that bridge down. Do it.
no,
Do it.
no, Emperor, no.
Do it.
But it was just, it was that way. It was chaotic and it was loud, and there's nobody gave me a quarter to rub their corn on their foot.
Burr.
That's right. It was a burr. If you rub it for me, I'll give you a whole quarter.
A quarter, thanks for, and I'll give Audrey a quarter too.
I'll give Audrey a quarter too, Audrey. Like, oh God. And they're fighting over the parking space in the garage.
And Clark just like, I will park the cars. It is fine.
He just did it to get out of the house.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's the only reason he put up all those lights too, I think.
That's why I do it. I don't do big social situations well, so when we have these big get-togethers, I am out, brother. I am so gone. I am just any menial task that isn't taking place in the room everyone is in is where I'm at. And for some reason, it takes me forever long to do the, are you still changing that light bulb? I mean, yeah, it's real. Some bitch I had to actually rewire it through the ceiling because there were sparks, and it's gonna take me a lot longer than we thought. I'll be there tomorrow.
Christmas gathering, you're like, I think I need to weed eat the yard. It's looking pretty bad.
I got to mow. It's just 3 feet of snow outside. I'm just pushing my mower through it because that's still more enjoyable than sitting through the madness that is family holidays.
Yeah.
But this is why Christmas Vacation and OG Vacation work, and that it's relatable. Everyone's watching this going, oh man, yeah. Now granted, the antics are cranked all the way up because it's a movie and that's what makes it funny, but there's still enough there that we're all going, been there, done that.
I feel like when I went to those gatherings, I feel like Audrey peeling that carrot. She is not paying any attention to what she's doing. She's just angrily just shaving the hell out of that carrot. What did she say? Would it be inappropriate to ask the grandparents to stay at a hotel?
I've asked that in front of people, in front of guests. I'm not a great host,
And her mom's like, "It's Christmas and we're all in misery."
right?
I love it.
And that is I wrote that line down.
I did too. I got it right
It's
here.
Christmas and we're all in misery. What a relatable moment that made I actually like paused. I was like, man, why do we do this to ourselves every year? They don't want to visit. I don't want them to visit. What are we doing? Why do we do this every year? Although my family's got it knocked down pretty well. If we get together, which those moments are few and far between anyways, right? But if we do, it's for like a lunch and at most day and a half. And then we all go our own ways because we all know none of us can stand the other ones longer than that. We all get together, we eat some food, we tell the same stories that we all enjoy and tell every year, and then we leave.
Weren't the in-laws there for like a week?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Or, man, maybe even
Might
longer.
have been longer.
Might have been more like a 2
Because I
week.
kept trying to look at that calendar
Yeah.
and kind of try to keep track of it, but I lost track.
I've never paid close enough attention to it to fully track how long the visit is, but it's too damn long.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about like Clark is doing his damnedest to give his family, immediate and extended, the greatest Christmas holiday anyone has ever experienced since Christ was born. And he just sets the bar too high. So he gets his 25,000 twinkling lights and he goes to get them set up.
Every aspect of him putting these lights up, I love it. I love him setting the ladder up and then sliding down because the ladder brings him down, and then him stapling his shirt to the house and trying to pull it loose, and he knocks him back against the tree. All of it. I love every aspect of this.
Todd and
moment.
Margot see him up there on the ladder, and and she's like, "I hope he falls and breaks his neck." And then Todd goes, "Oh, I'm sure he'll fall, but we're not lucky enough for him to break his neck."
Yeah, as a person who's had annoying neighbors, I feel for Todd and Margot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna lie. I've also been Griswold. I've been Clark a time or two.
Yeah, no, not me. I don't do the whole over the top decoration thing ever.
Oh yeah, me neither. But I've still had moments where I'm trying to do something, and my neighbors somehow get annoyed by it, and they come over to let me know they're annoyed, and I let them know that they can bend over, and I'll shove a tree up there, and they can go back. They can waddle their fat asses back inside their own home.
Oh yeah, see, I haven't had that either.
No, I've been both sides.
I'm pretty quiet individual.
I know, but you're like serial killer quiet. Just like that dude's gonna freak out one day.
Yeah, I kind of am. Don't go in that room, by the way.
That closed room
Yeah.
with the weird smell.
Yeah, don't go in there.
Okay. So, and also, okay, 90% of Chevy Chase's performance as Clark Griswold in any of the vacation movies, this one especially, is his crazy eyes. He'll just be talking to and delivering a rather mundane line, and then all of a sudden he just gets the wildest look. And it's all in the eyes, and you're just going, good Lord, there's something deep inside this man, and he is on the verge of a breakdown of some sort.
Yeah, when the lights don't work and he's been fighting with it for a day and a half, 2 days.
God damn. Why is this not? Okay, we joked about it earlier. When I still belly laugh every time he just fully freaks out and throws the light switch down, runs over, punches the yard Santa in the face. It pops up at some point and he like field goal kicks it. And then he starts karate chopping
the antlers.
He starts karate chopping the antlers off all the reindeer. And the whole time he's like, son of a bitch, god damn.
And the family is just watching him like, what the
I
hell?
was just watching this breakdown as he's just when he just storms over and punches Santa in the face. That is still, that one gets me. That hits home because I've been there, brother.
Yeah.
I've punched a number of Santas in the face, and there's a
At the
number of
mall.
malls I'm not allowed to go back to. They got my picture up all over.
Oh my god.
Now, okay, we get another scene at work where again we're doubling down, Christmas bonus, the pool. We get to another glimpse at his boss, who is he's supposed to be portraying just like the over the top asshole boss, corporate greed, rich, snooty, doesn't care, and he's just like, "What do you want, greaseball?"
Oh yeah, with
You
his
know.
giant desk.
Yeah, he's got the his desk is roughly the size of your living room,
Yeah.
right? And he's just like, what is it, Mark? It's Clark, sir. Oh, that's what I said, Mark. Oh, you got me put it with the others.
Did you notice the presents?
Oh yeah, all the presents
Yeah.
that everyone's
Did you
given.
notice what they were?
No.
They were all the exact same shape. So it was like, because they were all wrapped. You don't know
Yeah.
what they were, but it was like they all got him the exact same thing.
Oh, they probably did.
That's
Well, he got all of them the exact
that's
same
true.
thing.
That's true.
But again, I guess it plays into the humor and what the movie is, because it's taking something we can all relate to, but then cranking it up to max. But his boss, Mr. Shirley,
Yeah, Mr. Shirley.
he's just a caricature. Like, he's not a real person.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Brian Doyle Murray.
Yeah, it's Bill Murray's,
Murray's
brother,
brother.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
I couldn't remember if that was his name as I'm saying it.
I'm surprised you pulled that name out of your hat, because
I am too.
I would have. I knew he was Bill Murray's brother, but I wasn't going to bring it up because I could not tell you his name.
I wasn't going to bring it up, and then it started coming out of my mouth. And I was like, shit, well, just go with it.
Time to commit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You could have said anything and then ended in Murray, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's totally right.
Yeah, that's
So,
Mariah Carey Murray.
I love him. So, if we're wrong, let us know. But
Yeah.
like, that's not his name, Tevis, you idiot. You Mega Bloks eating idiot. We get back to the house. They fiddle with the lights more. We get more shenanigans. But the scene where Beverly D'Angelo goes out to the garage and it's just outlet extender plugged into outlet extender as all these lights are plugged into the same outlet. It is a Christmas tree of outlet extensions. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, have you ever had a real Christmas?
Yeah, it's bigger than one of the branches on their actual Christmas tree.
Yeah.
This thing is a monster. And
I'm
she's
not-
fiddling with it, trying to figure out something. And
Every time I watch it with my family. Now, everyone had gone to bed by the time I watched it, so this was the first movie I think maybe ever that I was completely alone for its whole. But every time we watch it as a family, I always turn to my dad during that scene, and I just eye him, and he's like, "Leave me alone. Mine were never that bad." Because he was the king of just plugging the outlet extenders into each other to get the most out of the one plug. Also, the lights do finally turn on because the outlet switch was off.
I love when the family's reaction, because you get each individual family's reaction when Clark is super disappointed that the lights don't work. You get the drunk mother-in-law who,
Yeah.
You see how much you pissed your money away, and the father-in-law's, the daughter's trying to defend him, and
Yeah,
it's like,
kudos to Audrey, by the way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Audrey.
she's like, you worked really hard, Grandma. And
Yeah,
he's like, so do washing machines.
yeah, like she's not being rude, but she's not going to let that slight against her dad go
Yeah.
unanswered. So, hell yeah, good
and
for
then
you.
Clark's mom, is like, honey, I can see them in my
I can
mind.
picture it in my mind, and it's beautiful. Like, shut up, Mom.
Yeah.
That'd make me angrier. I'm not even going to lie.
And then the dad, he's like, one light bulb goes out, they all don't work. So what if I was you, I would go up there and I would check each individual one. He's like, I did that, Dad. Well, if you need me, come get me. I'll be asleep.
I'll be asleep.
And then you get Audrey, she does another trying to comfort him. And then you got Rusty, who's like, well, look at the time. I got to go pay the bills and feed the dog. And
Yeah, feed the hog at one point.
yeah, feed the hog.
Do
That's
the
what it was.
laundry, and the dishes are
Yeah.
stacking up, and pay the bills. And he's rattling them off as he's heading out there.
Trying to get out of
He's
work.
getting out of there.
Uh,
Been there too.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I've been there as a son to my father. But I just love every single one of the family members get a moment to define their characters.
Yeah. And see, we talk about this a lot with other movies, especially movies like this one that have a plethora of characters. But this is one of those just tiny moments that you need to have where it's short, it's sweet, but we get just enough that we have an idea of who this character is. So now we can have some kind of relationship with them. You know, Clark's mom's a sweetheart. Ellen's mom's a drunk bitch. Like we have these moments. And that's what movies need to have. Otherwise you just have a bajillion characters I don't know or care about in any way, shape, or form.
And I went back to The Last Voyage of the Demeter again.
Avatar?
An Avatar.
Yeah.
I had this snippet of time with these characters, and I felt more for the entire family than I did for all those characters in both of those movies.
Well, and you know what? They did a great job of it too. Earlier, we already talked about doorbell's ringing. They open it. The in-laws, the family, the extended family comes in for the first time, and that scene is chaos. But we're still getting interactions with both sets of parents individually with different members of the actual Griswold family. And we're seeing how they interact, and when like Clark's mom is like, you see this mole, so it's like, oh, she's like nice,
changing color.
Well, you keep rubbing it, it's turning redder. But we're getting these moments. Or Ellen's like, I have hemorrhoids. Can you believe that? And Ellen's like, oh my word, But we're getting these moments, and the dad's arguing about whose car goes in the garage and who's parking what. But we're getting these short, sweet moments that still actually flesh these characters out just enough for me to give a damn.
Yeah, and it did a really good job of it.
Yeah,
especially at that point when at the lights not coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that moment.
So, but now the lights do come on because Ellen turned the switch on. Now the outlet's turned on, and Clark is reveling in his success and
going to each member
of the family one by Dad. You taught me everything I know about exterior illumination. And I don't know why that line in particular always makes me giggle or jumps out at me, but it's just something about it like, Dad, you taught me everything I know about exterior illumination. I don't know.
It's so dumb.
But it's a good kind of dumb. Yeah, I'm like, but he thanks everyone. And then he's like, Eddie, so glad you're here. And Catherine, and I hope this adds just a little bit to your holidays.
And he's like,
Eddie? Because here comes Cousin Eddie.
Oh, God.
In the big RV. That's a recreational vehicle there, Clark.
That there's an RV.
Yes, it is. And now the family nightmare has joined us as his family, his wife, their 2 kids, their dog Snot. He's got the sinus thing
that they love more than anybody else in the family. Yeah.
Oh my God, Ruby Sue. Her eyes aren't crossed anymore. Damnedest thing, falls down a well, eyes go crossed. Gets kicked in the head by a mule, they straighten out again. I don't know.
Yeah. You better not kiss him, Art. You got a lip fungus they haven't identified yet.
Lip fungus. And now things take because everyone's favorite Cousin Eddie is with us.
I love when they're in the house and Eddie is drinking the eggnog and he's got that white shirt with the black dicky underneath.
Yeah.
And you can see it coming through.
Yeah.
And he just goes up to like this little pinwheel thing and tries to spin it.
And it just collapses. Shatters.
And he's like, oh well. And then moves on.
He just keeps effing everything up. Everything he touches breaks.
He goes over to the bowl of nuts. And did you see him? He's opening up the walnuts.
Throwing the shells on the ground.
The shells and everything are just going to the ground. Talking about his other oldest daughter or son who's off on their career at the carnival or some shit. He's a pixie dust spreader on a tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah. Next season, he's thinking that he'll be guessing people's weight or barking for the yak woman. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. I feel like
Eddie, is there anything I can get you? Eggnog, hit you over the head, leave you for days.
I feel like the character of Eddie is just Randy Quaid being Randy Quaid.
It's true. It's one of those roles where like this is the only thing I really know him as, and I can't because another great movie. Well, another movie that's considered a classic, but I think he does a really good job. Independence Day, but basically it's just cousin Eddie knows how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
That's the character he's portraying. It's the same
It's
guy,
the exact same guy. Yeah.
except if cousin Eddie flew planes and got abducted, probed by aliens.
Because don't they live in an RV too in that movie?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Wait, and we just now
We've
connected
connected another
Independence
one.
Day to
Catherine has passed away.
no, she took the kids and left his
No, because
ass.
he's still got the kids. He's got the little girl in Independence Day, and then got the boy.
Yeah, but those are different.
He found another family.
No, he started another family.
You're not wrong there. That's
Probably with a carny. You want to say something, just let it out.
Probably with a family member.
Well, and they did it in Vacation. They do it in all the movies. He would not be opposed to being a kissing cousin with Ellen.
Yeah, or is it her cousin?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, he's got the hots for his
Yeah.
cousin.
He's moving in hard.
Yeah.
She has to duck and dodge and dip and dive and
And dodge. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge Uncle Eddie or cousin Eddie. Uncle Eddie. Who the fuck is Uncle Eddie?
I don't know.
You can dodge cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Just edit that together where I get it right the first.
Will do. I can do that. I can do that.
I know you can. I know you won't, but I know you can, you dick. So I wanted to. There's so many scenes that I forget which order they're in.
I know.
But that's
It doesn't matter. Though.
That's the thing with this movie is it, and the reason I'm having trouble keeping everything straight in my head is because, man, it does not matter at all the order of these scenes.
No, and
Ebert is right.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why it works so well for TV.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you jump in at any time, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. We're getting ready to start the sledding scene.
Yeah, every scene,
and then you can watch it from there. And,
it's like every scene is its own independent episode of something.
Yeah, and it works.
Oh, we're gonna get into the sledding scene, but we're talking about cousin Eddie and the kids. So Clark is daydreaming about the pool, right? And then he's
Don't
about
forget the rubber sheets and the gerbils.
and I'm like, wait, is that for the kids or is that for cousin Eddie and Catherine having weird sex on Golden Pond? Cousin Eddie, let's suck face.
Yeah, the updated remake is him and Katharine Hepburn.
Oh my god! Wait, is On Golden Pond in this extended universe?
God, I hope not. I cannot get away from On Golden Pond.
And you brought it up originally. You keep bringing it up. I don't bring it up except for that one time.
More than once.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? That's fair. Probably. I cannot be held accountable for the things I say, especially when they're at your expense.
That's true.
That's why we're not allowed in Walmart together anymore.
Yeah, last time they had a Santa in there. I had to pull you off of him.
That son of a bitch right in his rosy cheek.
Karate chopping that poor elf's ears.
Stop. So Clark's daydreaming about the pool. He's mid-sex fan because it starts off nice and sweet enough, or he's just daydreaming about how nice it'll be for he and the kids. He's out there barbecuing. The kids are running around, and then the family comes and Uncle Eddie's got his
flippers.
It's like he's got like a onesie on, but he's got this bright yellow banana hammock on over it. It's very Superman-esque as he's bouncing on the diving board with a beer in his hand. He's
waving,
but then that morphs into a sex fantasy with the saleswoman from the mall.
And he's gripping those curtains hard.
And then Ruby Sue comes downstairs.
With the terrible wig.
Yeah, but it works.
It's a terrible wig.
Yeah, but that's why it works.
Yeah,
because you're like, cousin Eddie's daughter would have hair like that.
Yeah, it's very unkempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does
bangs.
Sweet bangs. Oh, yeah. I bet they cut them things themselves.
With a bowl.
Yeah.
Mo Howard style.
They don't have a bowl. They just have a pair of shitty rusty scissors.
Wait, what? Even the scissors are no good.
No, there's nothing in that house is good.
So thank God this is a movie, and Clark didn't just turn around with full erection,
Knock over the salt and pepper shaker on the
knock
table.
over Ruby soup.
Knock her wig off.
If he turned around quick enough, he could have cut her bangs off.
It would have been a straighter cut. Oh shit!
Oh, it's, I don't even care what I was building to. That joke's funnier than anything I was going to say. But Ruby Sue starts going into this spiel about how she doesn't believe in Santa because they never get any presents despite always being good. Because Cousin Eddie sucks. Now,
Yeah, he spends all his money on the goddamn dog.
there are two jokes throughout this spiel that Ruby Sue says. One of them falls completely flat for me, and one of them is low-key hilarious.
Okay.
So she's like, well, she's telling them about, Santa's probably not real. They don't get blah, blah, blah. And how worried her brother, was it Rocky?
Rocky,
how worried Rocky is. And, Clark's like, oh, is he nervous? And she says, shitting bricks. And he's like, sweetheart, we shouldn't say that word. And he's like, I'm sorry, shitting rocks. Completely flat. That joke does nothing for me. You know what does everything for me, though? Is as she's talking, Clark whips around and just cuts those back. No, we're not talking about Clark's penis anymore. Maybe later. Actually, I know for a fact we'll talk about it later. We're not there.
Okay.
But when she's talking about her brother, Hims, Hims, Hims worried.
Yeah, what is
And she says it like 4 times. That's the funny shit to me. I don't know why. Him's scared we're not going to get anything. Well, Hims was saying... don't know why. That to me, the joke about shitting bricks is the one everyone remembers. That's so funny. She said shitting rocks. And I'm like, yeah, get out of my face, you Cousin Eddie looking motherfucker. No, Hims though, that's the high quality, writing based humor I'm here for.
Yeah, the shit and bricks thing, it was, I got a chuckle out of it the first time I watched it, but every time after I'm like, okay. It worked once, but
yeah,
it wasn't like,
meh,
deliriously hilarious.
Yeah. But something about Hims,
I caught that.
It makes me chuckle every time because I think that's funny.
I caught that, and I took that as her being poorly educated.
Yeah, that's the joke, genius.
I know, I understand that, but I didn't like, I don't know, it just didn't resonate with me as funny.
Oh, you're wrong. So
Okay,
the next scene.
Moving on.
What? You know what? No, just spin the roulette wheel, brother. Which scene do you want to talk about next? Because it doesn't matter. There's no coherency needed for this movie.
Well, let's just go to pretty much the next one.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they're in Walmart.
Okay, they're in. No, actually, it is a labeled Walmart.
It is.
Yeah.
100%. Because he buys Old Roy dog food.
Right? And a lot of it.
A lot of it. He's just stacking that shopping cart.
It's because Clark's paying.
That's true.
Although, how's Clark paying? His bank account can't cover the check.
He's got a
that he
credit
wrote
card.
for the
He's got a credit card.
pool. Oh, that's fair.
He's got a credit card. But I still get a chuckle because I didn't notice this part of the scene for the longest time. But Eddie is putting dog food on the cart, and then Clark's like, "Oh, we do need light bulbs," and puts them down, and then Eddie just smashes the shit out
And
of
you
them.
just hear crunch.
Yeah.
It's so funny you bring that up. Not because the scene or the joke is like overly funny. This was the first time I noticed that too. I rewound it because I went, wait, did Eddie just crush Clark's bulbs like an asshole with all this dog? I've watched this movie over 100 times. Never seen that before.
Yeah, I caught that probably, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, and that's the beauty of this movie. Like, there's so many, like when they're all at the dinner scene and they're all eating that turkey that
What was left of it?
that's so dry. But if you pay attention to each individual character, they're all doing something
Different.
different and
Yeah.
pretty funny. Like the mother is dipping her chicken or turkey in the water, water, and stirring it, trying to moisten it up.
Clark's just chewing in ridiculous ways. Beverly D'Angelo, though, gets it on her fork, goes up to her mouth, and then just flicks it behind her quick, and then pretends to eat.
And then she licks her lips. She's like,
So yummy.
Yeah. And then Catherine, you can hear her in the background. Just the knife is slamming into the plate. And I paid special extra attention this time. I was watching
special extra.
Special extra.
Shut up, everyone. Tevis has paid special extra attention to something. Everyone shut up. Whatever you're doing is not as important as Tevis paying special extra attention.
I figured out who Chuck was.
I'm so glad for you.
Yeah. No, I was just watching Catherine in the background, just taking her knife and fork and just trying to beat the shit out of that meat. So
it wasn't meat anymore.
No.
That was it.
That was it. That was all I had. That was all I had.
Why do I let you talk?
I don't know. I have no idea.
All right, the sledding scene.
Yes.
That's one of the all-time classic scenes of this movie. It's over the top, but you know what? It still makes me chuckle. It's still funny. It works. It's not my daughter has frozen solid ridiculous, right? It's like
it's close.
It's close, but it doesn't cross that line.
I love how he's spraying it on.
Well, okay,
that spray. I
can't
remember what he called it.
He has that cereal varnish from work that he made, and is applying coats of it like it's wax on a floor to his metal saucer sled. That's what he's applying.
That's what that was?
It is the cereal varnish.
Okay, I couldn't remember. But I'm like, okay, so he's like, his son says, Dad, has anybody ever done this to a sled before? I don't think so. And they're all like, this isn't a good idea.
Don't you put none of that there on mine, Clark. You see, you remember that metal plate I got in my head? How could I forget, Eddie? Well, you see, they had to, down at the VA, they had to replace it with a piece of plastic on account of every time Catherine fired up the microwave, I'd piss my pants and forget who I was for half an hour. So I don't think I should be shooting down no hill with nothing between the ground and my brain but this piece of government plastic. Would it matter, Eddie? Well, you see, it runs right here where I part my hair. On this side, I mean, nothing, totally fine. But right in here, well, if that gets dented, my hair's just never gonna look right.
He's a deep man.
Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
So Clark gets his sled ready. He's like, don't try this at home. I am a professional. And now getting ready to set the new land speed sled record.
You can hear it echo.
W. Griswold.
Record.
And then he takes off, and there's just a streak of fire. And he's gone. Goes down the hill, through the woods at some point. He crosses a highway. He goes into a Walmart parking lot. He's gliding across the
sparks. Are just
he's going across the asphalt and sparks are flying.
He almost gets hit by a bus at one point.
And he crashes into the store. And it does flirt with that too much line, but for me doesn't quite hit it. And I appreciate that scene. It's still funny.
Yeah, and I like later on too when Eddie is emptying out the shitter. He digs through the trash.
He's digging through the trash and sees the sled, and the ass of it is just burnt out.
So funny. So funny.
Clark, what are you doing, honey? Oh, just looking out the window, enjoying a nice, bright, crisp Christmas morn. You know, snow on the trees, children playing. An asshole emptying his sewage tank into my storm drain.
Shitter was full!
Oh, did you hear that, honey? Shitter was full. Have you checked our shitters? The way he just so deadpan and just completely over all of Eddie's nonsense just delivers that line of, have you checked our shitters?
So when the other family members show up, Aunt Bethany
And Uncle
and
Lewis.
Uncle Lewis. I love Aunt Bethany.
She's a bless your heart kind of character.
She is. Did you know she was the voice of Betty Boop?
Oh no, I didn't know Betty Boop had a voice.
Yeah, it's Aunt Bethany. I just said that.
This
Are
is
you
why-
not listening?
This is why no one likes you.
There's a number of reasons why. But yeah,
We'll
she
call
was.
your exes and they can list them for us.
Well, our pod's not that long. But no, she was the original voice for Betty Boop and also Olive Oil from the Popeye cartoons.
Oh, I had no idea.
But
Goddamn Hollywood royalty.
I know, right? But every time I hear her voice, I know I'm in for a fun time because she's like, "Is your house on fire, clock? Don't throw me down, clock."
I won't, Aunt Bethany. Don't throw me down, Clark is my favorite because it comes from out of
It does.
nowhere.
It's my
And
favorite as
there's
well.
no malice behind it. There's no judgment behind it. She's just like, don't throw me down, Clark. Like this
you,
was
you know,
it-
Uncle Lewis has thrown her down a few times because he gets so angry. And I cannot stand the actor who played him, William Hickey. I don't know why. I can't stand it.
Now wait, is this something like he's done past this character, or is it because of the character?
No,
is it Paulie all over again?
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know. I don't know. I don't remember at all. I just know that I don't like that guy. And every time I see him in anything, for some reason, it makes me want to punch a Santa.
Well, just calm down, Clark. He's an old man. This might be his last Christmas.
He keeps it up, it will be.
Once Clark has just lost his mind, he has the best one-liners. Remember, so the tree, they lose the big amazing tree.
Yeah, thanks to the uncle.
So he goes and he cuts down just a tree in the yard. It crashes through Todd and Margot's window.
Of course it does.
And he gets it inside and props it up. And then he's like he's in his bathroom just cleaning up from cutting down that tree. And Ellen's like, was that necessary? He's like, what? Lewis destroyed my tree. We needed another one. I fixed the problem. And she's like, yeah, but did we have to do that? What do you want me to say? We needed a coffin. I mean, a tree.
Yeah. And then that's when he takes the chainsaw
And
to
then
the
that's when
post.
he picks up the chainsaw and we realize that he's still carrying around the chainsaw he used. And then he's like going downstairs and the newel post is loose and it kind of shakes. So he just cuts the topper off of it. He's like, fixed it.
The squirrel scene.
Where the hell is Eddie? He usually eats these goddamn things. Well, actually, Clark, he stopped after he read they're high in cholesterol.
That son of a bitch didn't read that. There's no way.
I just love that. Where the hell is Eddie? He usually eats these goddamn things.
Wasn't he out?
He had already left
Kidding.
to kidnap the boss.
That's
yeah.
what I thought. Yeah, to kidnap Brian Doyle Murray.
Who?
Chuck.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Chuck. Follow along.
Why? This movie's irrelevant.
That's true. That's true.
There's no sequential order to this thing. And the more we talk about it, the more it makes me mad. Because I do a really good job at either taking notes or remembering how a movie plays out. And this movie is just a slideshow of random nonsense.
Yeah, and it really only matters if you're pre or post Eddie.
Yeah.
After that, it's like it doesn't matter at all.
Well, what else is there?
Nothing.
Define pre and post Eddie.
If you're breaking it down, you really can't jump from an area that's pre Eddie
Okay.
and then an area that's post Eddie.
I'm with, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're trying
We have to introduce Eddie before we can get into like this guy's kidnapping his boss. That's what I meant.
So, okay. So Clark has lost his mind. He is stressed from everything. And there's a knock at the door. And he rips the front door open. But the delivery guy was still mid-knock and the knocker rips off in his hand. And Clark just goes, what the hell do you want?
I love that part.
Just
That
the
makes
idea of
me
just
laugh.
answering my door with, what the hell do you
He's
want?
so angry. He rips the door open and just that guy is just standing there holding it out like completely
Oh,
float
sorry, sir.
away.
I was supposed to deliver this yesterday, but it fell between the seats. And Clark takes it, just shuts the door in his face while he's talking.
trying to say happy holidays or whatever he's saying, and the guy's just nope, just shuts the door.
So now Clark has his bonus from work, and all the stress is gone. Life is good. He tells the family the big present this year is he's putting a pool in, and if there's enough money left over, he'll fly the whole family back over to christen the pool, and everyone's celebrating. It's all a good time. And then he opens it, and he's silent. Beverly D'Angelo's Ellen. She's trying to save him. She's like, "What's more than you thought it would be? You know, it's a what's it? It's a
Membership.
to a Jelly of the Month club." And that's when Eddie's like, "That's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark, all year round." Well, if this isn't the lowest, cheapest sack of shit.
He goes nuts.
I should have wrote down everything. Hold on. I might. Where's my phone? Pull up the thing. Pull up his rant. I'll do it, or you can. One of us will do it here because it's genuinely hilarious. But he goes on this tirade about how much he hates his boss, and that's when he's drinking some eggnog, just dumping his cup and fist into the eggnog bowl. And it's like, you know what? If anybody,
Laughing like a maniac.
oh, he's a complete psychopath. And he's like, if anyone needs a last minute gift idea, you know what I want? Mr. Shirley, my boss. I want him here, wrapped with a big bow on his head. But that's why Eddie, for a little bit, disappears in the movie, because he has decided this is the one gift that he can get Clark. Doesn't cost any money, and he's just the man to do it. Are you gonna? Can you deliver it like Chevy Chase?
Oh God, no.
Wait, are you about to just disappoint me?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I'm good at that.
All right.
Do you want to do it?
I kind of just.
You kind of want to do it, don't you?
I do kind of want to do it, but I also want to hear you just monotone
deadpan
read. No, I want you to try.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want you to do. I want you to try.
I want to look him straight.
I hate you. I knew it. I knew it. You are the worst human being that has ever existed. Hold on. Get animated. Channel your inner me.
Channel my inner Griswold.
That's right. Somewhere deep down inside all of us is a Clark Griswold waiting to chainsaw his way out.
Let's boil this son of a bitch.
I don't know what that means.
My anger is boiling.
Oh, okay.
All right. I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, ankle-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! And holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
That is the single greatest monologue ever committed to film. I don't care what anyone says. I can still hear Chevy Chase's voice. Bug-eyed!
And I hope what I read was true, that Chevy made that up on the spot, but the cast had different words of different adjectives, rather, written on cards, and he could pick and choose which ones he wanted to say, and he just went for it.
I've never heard that story before.
Because, he's doing it in front of the family, and
Yeah.
we're looking over the family's shoulder.
Right.
So at that moment is when they all have the cards supposedly hanging around their neck, and I hope that is true. I 100% hope that's true.
Worm-eating, dirt-eating, bug-eyed piece of monkey shit.
That hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? Oh yeah, there it is. That's the good stuff.
Oh.
Is that the best scene in the movie?
I have a hard time finding anything other than the only line I really like, not nearly, I guess, as much, but the one I quote the most is, "Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?"
I
don't know, Margot.
Margot.
But I think you're right. I think that is the best line in the best scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, it just Uncle loses his mind.
If he still had that chainsaw, oh,
Uncle
Someone-
Lewis would have died.
somebody would have died.
So all goes to hell, but then all of a sudden, Eddie comes in and
Ready to do some kissing.
and the look of panic terror on Mr. Shirley's face because he has no idea what that means. Here comes Mr. Shirley with a dog chain basically wrapped around his wrists and ankles like he's a prisoner going to the chopping block.
And he has a bow too.
He has a big bow on his head.
I love it.
You ready to do some kissing? What does that mean? And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Now,
This is our family's first kidnapping.
I love that line. This is our family's first kidnapping. It won't be our last. This is our first. Now, I know this is just a vacation thing. I hate the cops. I hate the SWAT team. I hate everything they do.
How they just storm the house and
Because it's just quintessential 80s comedy nonsense where they all just bust through the windows and kick the door down and everyone's got assault rifles and shotguns, and then the chief is like, freeze, nobody move. So then all the cops freeze and don't move. He's like, not you guys, them. And then the cop, and I'm like, I hate this bumbling cop. What is, oh, what's it, where's car 54? What am I, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, that was like in the 60s,
50s.
50s. Okay,
Because that predates the Munsters, because that's what Fred Gwynn was doing
That's right.
before the Munsters. So, yeah, the whole goofy, bumbling cop thing, yeah, that's a joke that's 30 plus years old by the time this movie came out.
Yeah, well,
Let alone-
they had the Police Academy movies too right around this time.
Jesus. Turds. All of them.
First one's good.
Is it?
It holds up.
Does it?
Probably not. I haven't watched it in years.
We'll watch it for this podcast and you'll be like, I hate
God.
this movie.
No, but yeah, the rest of them I know do not.
And it's like, nobody move. And then Clark's like, I'm sorry. And they're like, shut up, don't move. He's like, can we blink? I'm like, nope, that's stupid too.
Maybe blink. You don't like that?
No. What I do like is they're all frozen in the moment of their celebration because the boss was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have taken your raise. So, I'm going to reinstate it. I'm sorry. Then the cops come in. So they're all celebrating that Clark's going to get his bonus. And Beverly D'Angelo just has a full C-cup shaped hand of Clark Griswold's dick. Just full cock and balls in her hand as the cops bust in. So her frozen state, so she doesn't get shot, is just grabbing Clark's dick.
And I like how she shakes the hand of Mr. Shirley's
wife and then goes right back to cupping it.
And it makes that sound like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Now that does work for me. I promised everyone we weren't done talking about Clark Griswold's dick.
I totally forgot about that.
Boom! I never forget a chance to talk about dicks. Watch our Lethal Weapon episode. Listen to our Lethal Weapon episode. Shut up, Tevis. Don't look at me like that. I'll cut your bangs.
Oh.
I will whip this chair around and just cut them bangs right off, man. I'll slap the glasses off your face. Just headbutt the mic.
I just headbutted the mic. It almost knocked my glasses off.
Oh. Man, I think we're there. The cop thing doesn't work for me, but I think we're there. It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, go watch it for yourselves if you're feeling froggy. And it's on TV every year, all month of December. You'll catch it somewhere. Honestly, for whatever reason, even though I hate commercials, the movie plays better with commercials, or maybe that's just how I'm used to watching it.
So your final thoughts?
My final thoughts: the ratings were in the 70s, right? 7.5 and 70. I feel like that's fair. 70 seems a little low, but if it's in that 70 percentile, I'll probably agree with. But this is a quintessential classic Christmas movie. If you, for whatever reason, if you're the 4 people out there that listen to this show and you haven't seen Christmas Vacation, go watch Christmas Vacation this holiday season if you haven't already. It's worth the ticket price. It's a classic. There's going to be jokes that fall flat, but there's a lot of jokes that work, and this movie is so quotable. There are just so many great, whether it's a one-liner or a tangent or a rant or some kind of smart-ass comment. There's so many good lines in this movie.
For me, this is easily the greatest Christmas movie ever. I'm not a big Christmas movie fan. Like, I don't like Miracle on 34th Street or 36th Street or whatever it is.
Well, first of all, that movie sucks.
Well,
no one likes it.
All of those, like even the Santa Claus and
What? You don't like the Santa Claus?
I don't like the Santa Claus. I don't like It's a Wonderful Life. I don't like any of that.
No, It's a Wonderful Life sucks. Jimmy Stewart sucks.
They're all terrible. I don't like the overly joyful, bullshit of them all. But yeah,
Please sound more bitter.
I'm not overly joyful person.
Whoa.
But this movie, oh my God, I laugh so hard every time I watch this over what you said, the smart ass comments or the rants or just the quotes that you can get from it. If, again, for some reason, somebody out there hasn't seen this movie, what are you doing with your life? Watch this at least once, even if you're not a Chevy Chase fan. This is definitely worth the ticket price.
Well, if you're speaking on a personal level, no one is a Chevy Chase fan.
Oh, as far as a person?
Yeah.
I always try to keep that separate, but
except for Burt Young.
Except for Burt Young, but that's because he brought that into the character. But the more I learn about Chevy Chase and how he is and how he was, and it makes me not like him even more. But I didn't know that at the time of watching this when I was younger and enjoying it. Like even Fletch, I like Fletch.
I was just about to ask you. I know the vacation movies and I know Caddyshack. What's another Chevy Chase movie? I got nothing.
Well, there's a lot of stinkers. Like he had Modern Problems was one.
Never heard of it.
I think that was with Goldie Hawn. He somehow gets superpowers of some sort. I don't remember, but I remember watching it. But anyway, he's had a lot of shit. But the ones that he's had success with have been pretty iconic. Like Fletch is a pretty iconic character. But I always try to put my personal feelings about an actor to the side.
Except Burt Young.
Except Burt Young and, Kevin Spacey maybe. But just enjoy it for what it is. Don't think of it as the actor.
And I think that is a good way to put this whole movie. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's over the top, slapstick, goofy humor about the holidays and about topics that just about everyone in some form or fashion can relate to.
Yeah, and you can't go into this movie thinking it's anywhere near realistic. You're going to be disappointed because right at the beginning, you're going to be like, oh, there's no way they dug up that tree.
Or survived the semi.
Yeah, or her eyes didn't just not thaw, just thawed out and they're fine.
She was frozen solid.
She was fine. She was fine. They put her up in the dashboard on the heater and she's fine.
They turned the vents on her.
Yeah.
God, that's a bad joke. That is I hate that joke. Everyone get your I hate that joke t-shirts out.
Had to get one in.
Fucking John Hughes. All right, well, I don't think I've got any more to say about this movie. We did our final thoughts. That's Tevis. I'm Jake. We're Ticket Price. This was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, we're getting back to the hat. We got movies to draw.
I'm excited for getting back to the hat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Christmas episodes that we decided to do, because we did pick these. It wasn't pulled out of a hat or at random. We decided we were going to do these 4 movies for Christmas.
Yeah.
I missed the hat.
Well, good, because it's back.
Good.
With a vengeance.
Bring that damn hat.
All right, hold on. Wait, where is it? We haven't used it in a month.
I know. Shit, I don't know where half the shit is around here.
Here it is. Okay. You want to pull or you want me to pull?
You go ahead.
All right.
I'll let
Drum
you have
roll.
the honors.
Blah, 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 blah.
The drum roll from the lights. Every time I look at the father-in-law and he's doing the most ridiculous thing with his tongue.
Blah, 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 blah. Not everyone can just roll their tongue into the. I can. So I go. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a drum roll.
Are we doing the drum roll from Christmas Vacation or the kissing from On Golden Pond?
Same noise. It doesn't matter. All right. Searching. And our next movie will be the Russell Crowe classic, A Beautiful Mind.
Oh, that's not where I thought we were going with that. You said Russell Crowe. I was all excited for Gladiator. Or
No.
Or Unhinged. Or
Les Mis.
Les Mis.
I feel like he's done more movies than this.
Or
I got,
Cinderella Man.
is that a boxing one?
Yes.
Okay.
Or his brief moment in Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Oh, God, I don't. You know what? We might do a showdown of Brendan Fraser Mummy and Tom Cruise Mummy. If you guys want to see another showdown, and we let the mummies beat the hell out of each other. Except I think it's going to be pretty lopsided, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
That would be a good one.
So
we could really fall in love with one and beat the living shit out of the other.
Well, to be fair, that's what we thought we were going to do with Halloween, and that's not what happened at all.
That is true. Okay. Anyway, so we're doing Cinderella Man.
No, we're doing A Beautiful Mind.
That's right. We're doing Beautiful Mind.
We're not doing Cinderella Man.
I've never seen Cinderella Man or A Beautiful Mind, actually. I've never actually seen this movie.
Like you're about to, motherfucker. Strap in. And everyone at home listening, strap in. Or if you're not at home, I don't care where you are. Strap in. Next week, Beautiful Mind, Russell Crowe, intelligence-based shenanigans. I'm Jake, that's Tevis.
I like this show.
Intelligence-based shenanigans, loud noises. We're out. Holidays. Best outro ever.